we gon' run it. Hit the field, blast off, watch 'em all fall. This is AFC North talk. Got me hype, it's about to be a touchdown. Got the Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, and the Browns. Are you listening? It's time to get it hype. Tune in when the season poppin'. Yeah, we going live. Ay, knock 'em out. Ay, first down, going hard. Yes, indeed. AFC North talk. Let's go. Ay, AFC North talk.
Welcome to another edition of AFC North Talk. Here we are. Apologize, Jared may or may not bounce. He's dealing with something right now, but he'll be here next week. It's nothing serious, guys, so don't worry about it. Shout out to everybody that is joining here the live stream. The people that are watching the replay, thank you. Comment who you have in each game. It's always fun to go back and see, and make sure you like, right? So the AFC North. I can't remember a time that the AFC North had hit so rock bottom. But here we are. Let's start with Browns Vikings over the pond in the UK. Q against Wentz. Which right now, let's be honest, even though I'm gonna make fun of Wentz, Wentz did look better than McCarthy. McCarthy has looked good for like a quarter of his 2 games. Not a big sample. But Wentz, even though he hasn't looked amazing, definitely looked better than McCarthy, in my opinion. This is the thing. If this game was in Cleveland or in Minnesota, I would have picked the Browns. The only reason I'm going with the Vikings is because the Vikings stay there and y'all had to travel. But I think you guys...
I was thinking about that, and I wonder if we're not thinking about this fully. Sonny, you ever been on vacation too long?
Yeah. Yeah. You're ready to come back home. You know what? You're right.
Like, Minnesota lost, 5 starters in this trip?
Yeah.
3 of them on the offensive line, and then their backup center got injured as well. And I think Van Ginkel, their linebacker's injured. Like, there is a chance here that Minnesota, after 2 weeks of being overseas, might be ready to go home a little bit more than like the Browns, who've just been out there since Thursday. So, I don't know if I thought about it initially when I heard about it. I was like, oh, that sounds like an advantage for Minnesota. But that's just speaking purely of like, oh, okay, well, they're going to be more adjusted to there. Mm-hmm. But they might just be tired of being over there, right? Which does play a role. I mean, you're not really practicing at the nicest facilities when you're on go like that. And then, the hotel situation can be a bit dubious. I don't know what the travel situation is like from Ireland to London, right? But I think it's a little bit more complicated than we would assume, us being people from the States. Like, I've never really interacted with that whole dynamic. I wouldn't just assume that part's going to lean in the favor of Minnesota, because they're going through a lot right now. And they've been gone from home a very long time. I mean, with the Browns, they switched the quarterback. So you at least have that to focus the team for the week. And they know, okay, we got to be there. They play Pittsburgh the week after. Minnesota also has a bye after this week.
They might be checked out. It's AFC opponent.
Nothing turns up the let's go home meter than a bye week, and you got to get 12-hour flight.
Yeah, to Minnesota. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so I don't know how the travel aspect is really going to affect this game. Like, I can see it positively affecting Minnesota. Maybe they're having a great time over there, and they're not ready to go. Maybe that's the case. Maybe they're having an awful time over there, right? Maybe this is weighing on them, or maybe it's just it's neutral. I don't know. I don't know how many. You said, have you ever been on a business trip that long? I think you've done a business excursion.
I had never been on a business trip that long, but I would say this: after a week, I'm ready.
Day 10 in
you were over in the UK. You was over in the UK.
Oh yeah.
What was day 10 of England like? Like when it set in that you weren't going back home anytime soon. How ready were you to go home?
It took us a good couple of months to just get adjusted. I remember, so I'm gonna take the first 14 days. It was COVID, right? So I was in a house that they didn't let me get out of the door. Mm-hmm. But after that, it's just it's different, right? So you don't have the same things. The food is not the same. So it's not the same.
Food is
not
horrible.
The same. Yeah,
bro.
not the same. None of that. And you missed that. Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry for my English peeps around here, but I just wanted to go with a salt. Like, can we just put
Yeah.
salt and stuff?
So
You season it?
I'm just wondering, like, just how much that really might affect a team, from America that's been over here for like 10 days. And it's a work trip, right? Like, I don't know how strict they are. You know how some teams, like, you can't even hand nobody over, right? Like, and it's a young team, so they might be on that. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know how this travel thing is going to affect either team, right? There's a lot of variables going into this game. Carson Wentz is a walking variable. Him not having three of his offensive linemen this week is pretty advantageous for the Browns. The Browns also got a full practice out of Jack Conklin, which is big. So he might play. He's closer to playing than he has been the last 3 weeks. So that might play a factor in how things go. Dylan Gabriel being the starting quarterback. I'm not a big fan of having to play him in this spot. This is not a good spot to play a rookie quarterback, but it's the spot that he's given, and at least they've given him the whole week. Maybe he's able to surprise some guys. Like, I know that Brian Flores is going to do his best to try to confuse him. But it might be the case that, the defense kind of forces the Browns defense kind of forces, the Vikings into situations where it might be easier to score, right? They might get turnovers this week. We'll see. Maybe Dylan's more ready for this challenge because he's overseas and there ain't nothing to do. So maybe he just studies more. I don't know. Like, this game is just such a wild card. I'm going to call it a toss-up. I'm not really sure who's going to win here. Well, not a tie, toss-up. Like, anybody could win this game. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here, right? We're talking about a rookie quarterback, Carson Wentz, 3 offensive linemen missing from one side, the Browns offense not being that good, but still being a lot more healthy than the Minnesota Vikings. I have no clue if the Vikings are good or not, right? Like, the teams that have beaten aren't really convincing me that they're like good, but I don't know where the Browns sit because they're 1-3, but I mean they played 4 of the toughest teams in the NFL at the time that they played them, like that you could play, right? You talking about 4 teams with franchise quarterbacks. It's the first time they've seen a regular quarterback in a long time.
Yeah, so, average Joe.
Yeah, I mean you're going from Jared Goff and Jordan Love and Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow to Carson Wentz. Like, he's been playing good football, but still there's a bit of a drop off there, especially Carson Wentz with no offensive line. I just don't know what to expect out the offense, and honest to God, I don't know what to expect out of either team. Both teams are young. Both teams, I don't think, have done this a lot. Both teams are taking 2 different complete strategies from here that I can see backfiring entirely on both teams. Only thing I can predict for this game is that I think it's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be an ugly football game, field goal game. So, that's what I'm going to toss it up to.
Before I go with you, Ace, Anime Trees here says, I got Gabriel lighting it up, winning by 14. That sounds like big booty beatdown territory. And that justifies Cleveland keeping him on the field when he's awful for the next 5.
I got news for you. The fact that he's out there means that they're going to stick with them for a very long time. Like, they're not putting
Shador. Dude, the media freak out on Shador.
There is no energy to put him in right now or this season, right? Like, they're going to do their evaluation of Shador behind the scenes. I mean, that seems like the most important thing from Shador, right, was the behind the scenes stuff. That's why he fell in the draft. Mm-hmm. So, they're going to get their evaluation on him. And I know people think that you need to see this a 5th round pick before you take a quarterback in the 1st round next year. But I mean, I don't know any position where you're like, hey, man, we're not going to draft a premium 1st round pick here because we took Steve Charles in the fucking 5th round, right? Like, it's just not a thing. So that's just the reality of his draft position that, you don't really need to see him before deciding what you need to do in the 1st round. But yeah, I got news. Like, if you think that they're just going to pull the rug on Dylan early, they believe in Dylan, and Dylan's going to be out there until his play gets to a point to where it is no longer beneficial for his development for him to be out there. That he will be out there. But barring that happening, he's going to be out there.
What do you think, Ace?
Yeah, I think that this game is going to be a close game. The reason that I really feel that it'll be close is because Minnesota is down 2 of their starting offensive linemen against really good Browns defensive line. So think this is going to be a defensive struggle throughout the game. And I think the only reason that I'm not picking the Browns is because for a rookie like Dylan Gabriel to be making his debut across the pond against a Brian Flores-led defense, I think that's a tall task, but I don't think it's impossible. I think it is. I think this could really honestly go either way. It depends on who turns the ball over more, which defense or which offense capitalizes off of their defense, because it's going to be a defensive struggle. I know Carson Wentz, he did have a solid game last week. I think he only threw one touchdown. He probably should have had two. I still don't understand how his receiver let a linebacker hawk him down last week with Jordan Addison. But now you got Jordan Addison back. Now you got Jetta's back. So Carson Wentz has some weapons to deal with. You talk about Hawkinson as well, but this is a really good Browns defense. So those kind of cancel each other out. And then it's basically Carson Wentz versus Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel is a little bit of a wild card. Carson Wentz still threw for 300 yards last week. So I think when it comes down to it, I think it's going to be a tall task for Dylan Gabriel in that setting. And I think that's why you said, Sonny, this was in Cleveland. If this was in Minnesota, I think it's a little different. But the time change, like all of this, to put all of that on the rookie's plate is tough. Now, Dylan Gabriel also has the wild card of this team doesn't have any film on him whatsoever. So there are things that Brian Flores is probably guessing right now what they're going to do. He doesn't know exactly what they're going to do. So the element of surprise definitely favors Cleveland as well. I think if I'm Cleveland, I'm really digging and putting all my eggs on the basket of my rookie running back that's having some success right now. They also had some success from the rookie receiver last week, right? They're not getting as much production from some of those other guys, but David Njoku is going to have to be one of his best friends. That's usually a good friend and a safety blanket for a quarterback. And I think if he can get something going with those guys, this is supposed to be the guy that's able to run the Stefanski offense the way that it's supposed to. So there's an element of surprise there that could happen for sure. I just don't know if it's going to happen in these circumstances for the Browns, but I think it's going to be an ugly game, but I think it's going to still be entertaining because I think it comes down to a field goal or a turnover or whoever does it. I think it'll be a really close game. This whole spread of 3.5 to 5.5 that I'm seeing out here, I don't think it's that.
5.5.
I think it's that the Browns cover and they could steal this one. Like I'm not saying that they can't. I would just say that my head is saying that that's a tall order against Flores as a rookie, with that being your first game. So I'm going to go with the Vikings here slightly. But again, I think this can be a game because you're talking about two starting tackles being out with Myles Garrett out there. Like Myles Garrett is liable to have a 3 or 4 sack game in this one. And the Browns could end up having 5 or 6 sacks. And so just off of that, I think it's going to be a closer game. But yeah, I'm going to lean towards the Vikings in this one.
Also, something to think about is Carson Wentz is kind of like one of them signs at work. Hey, there's been so many days without an accident. And the higher that sign gets, the more somebody about to fall off that forklift or something like that, right? Like, and Carson Wentz ain't had a bad game in a minute. I'm just going to point that one out there. Feels like we're due.
So this is what I will say on this game. I have picked the Browns straight up last 2 weeks. When they won one of them, they lost the other. And I'm convinced if they had a quarterback that was a game manager, I'm not even talking about somebody like here killing it. Just a game man. Don't throw any picks. They would have won last week. I know the score at the end got a little bit out of hand, but the problem with Joe Flacco, in my opinion, in this Browns team happened against Baltimore. There's a point that your defense gets extremely tired, fatigued, frustrated, really. And then they don't see like where's this game going, and just I'm not saying they gave up, but the intensity definitely goes down. If Dylan Gabriel can just not do turnovers and play the possession game, I think the defense of the Browns will create more opportunities for them than the defense of the Vikings will create for the Vikings. Because I think Stefanski is going to be a very simple game plan for Dylan. Like, I'm not asking you here to just do much. To read a lot of junk. So running back, whatever the yard, to take the over. Although I can see Flores saying, you ain't going to run against me today. You're going to make him throw. But again, I'm expecting then Stefanski to have simple throws for Dylan. Simple throws, and if Dylan comes here and gives me, I don't know, 200 yards, 180 yards, no picks, I don't even ask for a touchdown. I think on an efficient game, I think they win. I think they win if Dylan throws a pick or there's a fumble. It's turnovers obviously can kill you, but if he can play clean, especially with the offensive line being hurt from the Vikings. Look, I think and what Q said, I didn't even thought about it. The Vikings, this is an AFC team against an NFC team. Bye week next week. They might, of all the games they started in the
out there last week, because they flew out there early, didn't they? When we saw the PS5 and everything.
Yeah, they flew a little early over there. I think they flew like Thursday or Wednesday of last week.
Man, so they've been out there for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
It's like
so is everybody going to be Vikings fans now since they're like playing 2 weekends in a row, or how does that work overseas? I know people just show up with like whatever.
There's going to be some Browns fans there. I know the Browns got a little fan base out there in England. So
okay, yeah. I think every team has a like a core of fans in England.
It's probably going to be a bunch of people just like, hey, I'm going to the game.
You don't. There's a lot of Americans in England.
When we call it a match out there.
So there's a lot of Americans in England. I can definitely see like all the jerseys. That's usually what happens. All the jerseys, and they're expensive. When I was there, the Ravens went the year that I was leaving, and the guys were saying that the tickets for the Ravens are insane. Yeah. So
where were they playing? Tottenham, or were they playing in
they
Wimbledon?
practice in Tottenham, and they play in not Wimbledon. Because Wimbledon is it's the one, the main one in London. That's the one.
Wembley.
Yes, Wembley. Thank you. Wembley. Yes, Wimbledon is the tennis.
They sell the sausages and beans at the games. That's what they're pulling up with.
Okay, I know. Again, British friends, I know you guys love your beans on toast
with some mayonnaise.
That's I lived there 3 years. I know. That's not a thing. You should ban that. Anyway, before we lose all the UK.
I ain't never been out one day, man. Like, damn, bro, I want some British food out here. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
when have you seen a British restaurant?
With your lady and just be like, yeah, bro, you trying to see if they got some British food out here? I just said that about Jamaican food, Puerto Rican food, Mexican food, Cuban food, Louisiana food.
Have you ever seen a British restaurant? That's even more.
Beans and chips, right?
Only place I've seen British restaurants and French restaurants are on sitcoms, dog.
Exactly.
Like, that's the only place. Like, you need to go somewhere fancy. People go to sitcom on a French restaurant. I'm like, nah, what about an Italian joint, right? Like, I done heard you done been hungry. I need some Italian, some Asian, some Japanese, some Korean barbecue. Ain't nobody in the history of this country past like 1940 was like, hey, you know what I'm in the mood for? Let's go to that British spot. Like,
there will never be a British fusion spot. Nobody wants to fuse with none of that British food.
So, do you know what is Brit's top restaurant like Shane wise?
Is it like chips? It's
fish and chips
and fish, right?
No. There's a restaurant that the Brits go crazy for.
They go crazy for it? No, I don't know that. It's over here.
It's over here.
It's over here, but it's over there.
Yeah.
McDonald's?
Well, they love McDonald's, but no, it's called Nando's. Do you guys have? We have a Nando's here.
Yeah,
Nando's is good. No, I'm not crazy. I like Nando's, but Nando's has flavor, and because it has flavor, these people go wild. Like, oh my, like what is happening? Yeah, yeah. It's a little again. Nando's good. I like Nando's, but they love some Nando's. Anyway,
that's crazy.
Somebody got mad at me because on pod, I'm like, if I go to England, dog, all chains, and they like, how you gonna eat stuff when you in England that you can have at home? I usually don't follow that method. When I go to Chicago, I don't eat nothing from no chain. But England ain't no Chicago, dog. Like, I might taste 3 things in a week.
If you're in London, you can find a good, but you're not buying
They're not
British
messing up
food.
dessert over there, are they? Are they messing up
Man,
dessert too? They're
I'm
messing up
going.
They're
dessert.
not as sweet.
You
They're
know
not as
what?
sweet.
I bet it's like LA, right? You just got to find the sections, and I'm gonna just be. Where's the south side of London? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
You go. There's a lot of good Indian food. There's a lot of good like Mediterranean. So, but you don't go to a British restaurant, right? Like you go to Chicago, you like let me go to a good deep dish pizzeria, right? In Chicago,
Yeah.
right? Or in Baltimore, you might find the best crab cake place. There's no like let me go to ex-British restaurant while I'm there. There's none of
Are
that.
the fish and chips at least good, like the fried fish, or
It's
does
so
it is it not
overrated.
seasoned? Is it not
It's
seasoned?
just salt.
Is it straight fish?
No. They put some. Doesn't taste like it has a good kick or anything. It's basically like salt, maybe a little pepper in the batter, fried cod, and thick chips, thick fries. Anyway, fan vote here: 63-37 Browns.
Fair enough.
Okay, let's go now to the Ravens here. I'm gonna tell you here. Lamar was ruled out just before the pod. Okay, Cheeto out. Hamilton is questionable, but he hasn't practiced in the last 2 days.
Y'all injury report looked like a.
It's insane.
I
Marlon
can
Humphrey
picture.
out. I already said Lamar. Emory Jones, that's the rookie. He's out. Travis Jones gonna play. That's great. And Linderbaum. Odafe hasn't practiced, but nobody finds him in the field anyway, so doesn't matter. Roquan out. Ricard out. Stanley questionable. He practiced today limited. And we already know Marabike and Barton and Washington, which is the starting two next to Travis Jones. They're out. They're IR.
Oof.
That is the injury report. A lot of starters.
Who y'all playing?
The Texans.
Oh, at least you playing the Texans.
Yeah, the Texans had the injury report. I think it was like 2 people that were just questionable.
I mean, it's a good week for the Texans to not have anybody on the Ravens defensive line be playing because
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody that's gonna Travis Jones. Travis just should play.
That might be tough. You're not going to be able to get pressure on CJ.
No, without anything.
Which is crazy. Which is crazy because his
Van
line right now is horrible.
Van Noy might play. That's the one coming back.
Ooh, Van Noy.
Yeah, he might play. I don't know what to make of this game. Like the Texans offense has struggled, but 2 starting corners are out. 2 starting D linemen are out. Middle linebackers out. It's hard to ping what's gonna happen. To be honest, what I would like is Malachi Starks play too deep, and just blitz the hell of it. And then if they burn you, they burn you. Just have the safeties deep. If anybody leaks out, that's essentially the game plan that I would like. Like right now, CJ Stroud played well last week, but CJ Stroud has looked under duress with a bad O-line. I think if you pressure him a lot and then you just hear sacking him or whatever, then maybe you can get some turnovers. Safeties are then playing front, right? So that might give you a pick here or there. Other than that, if you're just playing zone, Jair should play. I'm hoping they plays because of this again. I love T.J. Tampa. Maybe T.J. Tampa comes and he balls out. In very limited spots this year, he's been really good. But limited spots, right? As you play more, some deficiency might get exposed. On offense, again, I don't even know what to say. Cooper Rush is gonna be your quarterback. I don't know. It could be whatever. Henry needs to run for like 100 at least for this to have a chance. By the way, I forgot to mention Arthur Jones, ex-Raven.
R.I.P.
Yeah. 39.
That's tough. I feel like we're seeing more and more of this. Recently. Rudy Johnson, unfortunately,
Johnson,
that was rough. Anyway, it's hard to analyze this game, to be honest. Like I really am trying to break down if we do this or that. I think the defense should come super aggressive. If you get burned, you get burned. Blitz the hell out of it. And offensively, a lot of play action, hoping that they're trying to stop the run and the receivers need to make plays. It's easy completion.
The real question here is like, who do you trust more, Derrick Henry or CJ Stroud?
I trust Henry more, but I can see them loading the box completely, right? And
I
then,
mean, of course. What are they gonna do? Be worried about Zay Flowers and
well, that's what the
yeah.
receivers / Cooper Rush has to make a couple plays here and there.
Yeah, well, it's more the Cooper Rush part, right? Like those receivers are dangerous when Lamar out there.
Yeah,
But I remember I remember what Derrick Henry looked like that last year at Tennessee when he had no quarterback play next to him. And it was a lot like how the Browns made him look like in week 2, right? It was a lot of that going on because it's just easier to be aggressive, trigger downhill here. Like they're going to really need Cooper Rush to be effective early on.
Yeah.
Maybe that's possible. I thought this was the weirdest signing of the NFL free agency. Either they're going to be validated or I'm going to be validated. So we'll see what happens here. But I mean, I kind of got to go with the Texans just because.
Yeah.
Is it in Baltimore?
It's in Baltimore. It's in Baltimore. I don't think it matters, but I think because the other thing is a lot of fan base been selling tickets.
Well, it matters a little bit because you just want your role players to be more comfortable in a game where you're going to ask your role players to step up. Right. But and their backs against the wall. They're wanting like maybe they have that like, oh well, we got to make some shit happen, and they pull together that one bullshit game of the season. But and the Texans certainly aren't good enough to assume that they're going to take advantage at the moment right now. So there is that leaning in the favor of Baltimore. It's just.
Yeah, I don't think Lamar plays for the next 2 games. I actually don't think none of these players that are gonna be out of this game plays the next 2 games.
Well, the question is too, like once he gets back, like how much is that gonna bother him going forward?
Yeah, so that's why I think that you sit him for 2 weeks because the 3rd week is a bye week. So then you take him out for 3 weeks, right? This of the 2 games is the most important one because it's against the AFC. The other one's against the NFC. I mean, you have a lot of L's, so. But if you
don't think the season is up, you don't think the season is over if you guys lose the next 2?
If we lose the next 2, basically it's over. But if you go 1-1, 2-4, and the win is against this guy, the Texans, I'm not predicting you beating the Texans, then you can say where you're 2-4, there are not many else you can take on the rest of your road. And we have some easier games coming up after the bye. We had the Bears. Again, the Vikings, who knows how the Vikings are, but there's definitely better than what we have had so far, right? So if we go 0-2 and we're 1-5, I mean, if we make it, that would be crazy. That would be crazy.
Yeah, it looks like you have a less than 10% chance, and it says that since 1990, only 4 teams have started 1-5 and reached the postseason.
Yeah,
I get that. That's what the wider numbers say, but then when I look at these games, and it's like, well, they'll be 1-5. How many games you think you need to get in? What, 8?
I said 9 and 8.
8 wins get you in the playoffs, right? Yeah. Well, 8 wins get you in the playoffs because you already got 1, right?
Yeah.
So, I think they have a better than 50% chance to beat the Bears. I think they have a great chance to beat the Dolphins. I think they have a pretty good chance to beat Minnesota. The Cleveland game is going to be difficult, but that's a very winnable game for them. The Jets, the Bengals, the Steelers, the Bengals again, the Patriots. Yeah, there's 8 wins in there. They get Lamar back and start rolling.
And that's why I said you bench him, not bench him, but you sit him the next 2 weeks because then you have a bye. So that's 3 weeks in a row without playing, and then you hope you get coming hot.
I just think that defensive issues, like I could see the Bears if Caleb Williams wasn't playing good, but the fact that the Ravens are playing like the worst defense in the NFL, and they're having to go against somebody like Caleb Williams that is playing at a high level. That's now if their defense was in, I'd be like, all right, I could see it. But the fact that their defense has not been that great, and then they're talking about not having Justin Madubuike for the rest of the year. I don't know, dog. I think they'll be able to score points. I just don't know. Like scoring points, you're gonna have some shootouts where you might not end up winning.
Well, we don't know what the Bears going to look like in 8 weeks. We don't know what the Ravens defense is going to look like in 8 weeks, right? Like we're talking about it as how you look right now. It's just going to be how you look for the rest of the year. But teams get better, teams get worse.
Well, last year we got way better, right? After the Bengals game.
Yeah, I mean, like you never know, right? But teams get better, teams get worse after a period of time, right? And with the injury stop, do they stop or do they get even worse for Baltimore is another question here. Like, I don't think the Bears are at the place where I'm like, oh man, That's one of the best offenses in NFL. Like, I don't think they've earned that level of trust from me personally. And
Yeah,
then
I
like,
don't think they're one of the best offenses. I just think Caleb Williams, I don't know if you've seen his numbers, but he's playing at a high level right now. Caleb Williams himself is what I'm saying.
yeah, and I'm as big as a Caleb Williams guy as you can get,
I'm
but
not.
I also have always understood that Caleb Williams has a bit of streakiness to his game, which is like, yeah, he might look great right now, but then you run into him, you catch him at the down time where he's like, oh, it's a couple bad weeks, he's off sync for whatever reason. Wide receiver gets hurt, offensive lineman gets hurt, shakes him up a little bit. Like, shit just happens in the NFL, right? And I don't think the Bears or Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson are really immune to that. I mean, it's already kind of happened to him this season. And then what? Like, if they're not able to score a ton of points, they can still beat the Dolphins. They can still beat the Minnesota Vikings. They can still beat the Browns. They can certainly beat the Jets. They can beat the Bengals. They can beat the Steelers, and they can beat the Bengals again. If they can't score a ton of points, and that's already what the 8 wins that they would need with 2 weeks left in the season. Green Bay is a tough draw, but I don't think that would be impossible. The New England Patriots, are we gonna say we don't think they could beat the New England Patriots by the time we get to week 16? Like, I think that's certainly possible. And then at Pittsburgh again, which, I mean, look, it's tough to sweep Pittsburgh. Not saying that what they're gonna have to do to get in isn't gonna be tough, but I know what the numbers are if the Ravens get to 1-5, but I certainly would not count that body dead until it's in the ground with Baltimore, because that second half of the schedule is light, and they do have Lamar, and that defense does have a tendency to look one way the first 4 weeks of the season and then turn into something else. They usually give Roquan the credit for it, but that's usually what happens.
I wouldn't. I mean, nobody get the Roquan last year the credit. The switch in safety was key last year.
Every year, somebody gets the credit for what happens every year.
Well, because once that happened, when they bench Marcus Williams,
I'll just get into a stride. I don't think it's anybody's fault or anything.
maybe
it's
she's that. Yeah.
Better chemistry. You guys work on a committee. Guys get better flowing. Better feel of each other. It's just a defense is built to be better at the end of the season than at the beginning of the season. But that ultimately falls victim to the fact that they don't really have the kind of star power that can overwhelm teams in the postseason.
Is Ace reporting from an undisclosed location?
Hey, we don't talk about that. Jared.
Hello.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, apologies for my
That's okay, man.
tardiness. Never, you know what? Lesson to you guys with children. Don't ever let your kids sign student loans without a lawyer present. God,
Ooh,
God almighty.
You never did them third party ones, man.
Yeah, something like that.
Ooh, I stayed straight with the government.
Do you have any? I read the injury report for the Ravens. Lamar's officially out, and
yeah,
there's a bunch of
that
people
War and Peace novel of injuries. Goodness, it's not good.
Do you have any thoughts of this game? As I was saying, it's very hard to analyze this game because I said that what I would like the game plan to be is too high and blitz every time.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
beat you similar
like
to if they have the pass rush to do it. That's
why you need to blitz. We don't have no pass rush to do it.
Sunday, what are you doing on Sunday?
I might have to suit up.
The only thing that I'm caring about for this game is the fact that I took the under 40.5 and parlayed it with Houston's over of 20.5, and it's plus 552. So if that's something that everybody wants to hop in on with me, you're more than welcome to get on that train.
Hold on, is that like a money line big booty beatdown?
Would it be? Maybe.
Kind of.
Yeah, because at that point,
the
closest...
Steelers are not bye this week, so he's
getting cocky. I don't like it.
I don't think that's the thing. Like, I don't believe in Houston enough to call for consecutive triple Bs here. But I don't know. Cooper Rush is out there, man. It's gonna be a Derrick. What do you think? So just like Derrick Henry, 30 carries.
I'm hoping
30 could be light.
I'm hoping this is the week my team turns it around. You know what I mean? We get 50 fucking attempts, targets for Jamar Chase, and then 50 rushing attempts for Derrick Henry. I can't win this week. I'm just gonna lose. Okay.
It's what we expected in terms of like Lamar not being here or being there for due to the hamstring. But whenever Kyle Hamilton's not playing either, right?
Well, he's questionable. He hasn't
Questionable,
practiced lately.
Okay. So, I mean, even if he does play, it feels, he's certainly not 100%. Roquan's out, yes?
Yes.
Roquan, no. Marlon Humphrey?
No, he's not playing.
He's not
Cheeto Awuzie not playing either.
Oh, my God, man. Who's going to cover Nico Collins?
No.
Is Nate Wiggins playing?
Nate practiced yesterday for the first time, so he's playing.
Is going to cover.
So, good thing that Houston doesn't really have like a reliable number 2, unless this is going to be like a Jaden Higgins breakout game.
I love Jaden Higgins.
So, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe bet Woody Marks anytime touchdown for Houston.
Look at I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think Baltimore is going to win. I just without Lamar. It's a tough thing to overcome with all those injuries. Have we talked about any other games this far?
Yeah, we talk about the Browns.
we're still on the. Yeah, you could give us your take on the Browns game.
So the over/under on FanDuel last time I checked was 35.5.
Have you noticed, Ace, that the biggest bettors here are always Steelers podcasters? What's going on in Pittsburgh?
Dude,
I bet, but
under bettors, I bet the under far too often.
Sounds like you're like Tomlin, very conservative.
Yeah.
No. I'm not conservative. I root for teams to stink sometimes because that's what I need for the unders to hit. But here, I'll pull up a number real quick while you read off the super chat.
Did Sanders think the game was in France with his mime routine, which he just said he was happy for Gabriel's and looking forward to his chance?
Yeah, I got a beautiful response for that. So
go ahead.
I see you.
Smith. So if you think that this game, Cleveland, Minnesota, is just going to be like super low scoring, like a 13-10-ish type of game, if you want to go alternate under, the under 24.5 is plus 470.
Under, it's crazy.
I didn't know there was an alternate under.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So under, if you go alternate under 24
what are you
and a half.
saying, Darren? Are you trying to say this is gonna
You
be
know what? This is a proud day that the sick man tradition when it comes to gambling has still remained in Pittsburgh. You know?
That's what I said when you left for a moment.
Dude, under 23.5 is plus 520. So over 5-1 odds, you throw $10 there.
What are you saying, Darren? Are you trying to say that this is going to happen? Is that what you're saying?
I really hope so. I really hope. Because it's Carson Wentz against Dylan Gabriel. It's two really good defenses. It's the best.
It's the highest scoring game of the weekend.
Knowing my luck, it probably will be. I'm gonna pick Cleveland to win the game.
Okay.
Just because defensively, I just believe in them too much. I think right now, pound for pound, Myles Garrett's the best defensive player on planet Earth, and the things that they've done so far this season have been. It looks like the 2023 Browns defense. So I'm loving what I'm seeing there. And I don't know, man, like Carson Wentz, like we're starting to see that maybe KOC can't whisper every quarterback. And there's some questionable decisions that were done against Pittsburgh. And, the Steelers offense found some success against Minnesota's defense. Obviously Aaron Rodgers is a much different animal than Dylan Gabriel. Which, by the way, if the Browns do win, Dylan Gabriel will be the first quarterback to win his rookie debut as the Browns quarterback. Previous ones are all 0-14.
0-14.
So would be a little bit of history made there.
As long as he doesn't get trapped under the American flag before, if they even do that over.
Who was that? Was that Brandon Weeden?
Yeah, he will make sure that he does not lock up that number one worst spot, because I think Brandon Weeden did that and went to throw 4 interceptions in the first half.
Oh, speaking of American flags, I didn't talk about this on the recap show, but the Irish anthem, beautiful.
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
It sounded like a siren song, like luring in sailors to their doom. It was beautiful. Very nice.
I don't know if this is going to be controversial, but internationally speaking, Yeah, we our anthem ain't that high.
Oh no, the American anthem blows. It's not good.
It don't slap. Like, oh, Canada kind of slap hard.
Dude, Oh Canada rules. God Save the King is pretty good. Whatever Ireland's is called it's lovely. Ours blows.
I hate God Save the King.
I mean, it's crazy when like all it took was people playing Call of Duty for the Soviet national anthem to go triple platinum in the U.S.
Crazy.
Does Puerto Rico got a national anthem? I feel like they gotta have a fire one. Like, there's no way Puerto Rico got a bad national anthem. Right?
Our national anthem, if you for the people who understand Spanish, it sounds like a marketing come to Puerto Rico essentially. Like, look at our beautiful beaches. Yeah. So,
that's funny.
Texans 46, Ravens 44.
Michael Bublé singing it.
Michael Bublé. If the Texans and Ravens combine for 90 points, something's wrong.
Nah, dude. No.
I don't see how we can score in this game.
Possible.
I don't think they'll combine for 40 points.
The Texans are like they're the number one scoring defense in the NFL. So I know a lot of people have seen the struggles of CJ Stroud, and it's really just been their offense hasn't been able to score. Their defense has actually been good. So number one scoring defense in the NFL versus Cooper Rush. Yeah. And you got CJ Stroud having his get right game last game. I think this is another get right game for him. Baltimore Ravens defense doesn't have anybody there.
Yeah.
I think this is an easy win for the Texans.
And they should win too, because the Jags play the
Chiefs.
So you got to get that game back.
Houston's defense is third in the league in EPA per pass right now. Their pressure rate, let me get that pulled up because I'm sure it's pretty high if I had to guess.
Stanley might not play.
They're only allowing 12 or 13 points per game or something like that.
They're a little bit over middle of the pack in pressure rate. Let me look at their points per game real quick. Points per game, they are allowing
number one.
Sorry, that was the one from the bottom. 12.8. Yes, they are first in scoring.
Yep.
It's gonna be great.
Good luck with that.
It's gonna be great.
And if you put
a bunch of carries, he's been fumbling lately.
Yeah. If you put Cooper Rush out there against the number one scoring defense in the NFL, well, good luck, Charlie.
It's gonna be great.
Or Cooper Rush earns himself another contract somewhere next year.
Yeah.
Continues the madness.
Oh my God, that will be spectacular.
I saw what Cooper Rush did with CeeDee Lamb. I'm not impressed.
Hey, Eric DeCosta saw it and said, "Yeah, it's my guy to back up Lamar Jackson of all."
Well, I still don't understand that because, like, for the longest time, they got dudes that could run and like basically just be the.
We still have him. Snoop is behind him.
They have Tyler Huntley there, who was like the best backup you could have for Lamar.
Yeah, I don't know why Cooper Rush is starting this game and not Snoop Huntley. That makes zero sense to me. I'll make a bold prediction. I think Cooper Rush will get benched and Snoop Huntley will come in.
No, they're very committed.
You know why I think Snoop Huntley doesn't get to play? When the last time he played that Sam Hubbard highlight?
Oh yeah, in the jungle in the playoff game.
That's a vibe ender forever, dog. Like you do that, it's gonna take a while for you just could come back into the game.
Right.
I think after that they knew like I don't want him back, but we needed a third QB for practice squad, and that's where Snoop is.
What happened on the extension, and he said something dumb, and that just gives you the ache forever.
Maybe.
If anybody was wondering about any Steelers news today, today is the 10th anniversary of the Steelers signing Chris Boswell. So
nice.
Yeah.
And he's still not paying him, huh?
Still didn't
give him a playoff game.
He won. Sure. He won them a game against Cincinnati his first year there.
Okay. So he got that one.
The AJ McCarron game.
Is that the only one?
Oh my God, that's the one.
That would. I think that no, because they went to. Did they go to the AC title game that year or the year after?
10 years ago, 2016.
No, that's the year that they lost to Denver. So that would have been.
It couldn't be. It could have been. Yeah, this would have been in the playoffs.
Yeah,
this would have been in the playoffs.
Hey, what year was? No, I was in college.
I was against AJ McCarron.
Yeah, 2015 was the year where the Bengals ran to the tunnel because they thought they had won.
So it was in the game where Dalton got hurt versus you guys, and AJ McCarron came in.
Ben got hurt in that game too, but came back in because Landry Jones had to play for a little bit.
Then Ben came back in with no elbow.
But the playoff one, that happened in the playoffs. So that was a playoff game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was the 2015 season. The playoff game took place in 2016. It would have been January 2016.
Gotcha.
But that was Boz's first year as a Steeler. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Maybe you got to get Boz to win more playoff games. Maybe you got to trade him to the Browns. Make sure we don't make the playoffs.
So, Q, I know you have about 10 minutes. Bengals Lions.
He'd be able to get this off in
before Q goes, let me say this. This week should have been, if everybody would have been healthy, should have been good games for the Ravens.
It don't matter it don't matter where it's at, bro.
Hey, so you're like,
it could be in your backyard, bro.
I will say this. The Lions, I think when you put a microscope to them, aren't really as good as people think they are right now. They're like, I wasn't really impressed watching them, right? Like, I thought they were really sloppy with their operation. They really weren't energized to play. Like, there's a chance that you get a real shitty performance from them. And if you get like a decent game offensively off, I think any team can really beat the Lions. Like, I don't think they're a particularly difficult team to beat. I don't know where the Bengals' morale is. It doesn't feel like it's in a good place. The defense is starting to fall apart. And if the Lions bring that trademark physicality that they did with the Ravens, then it's going to be a problem.
Which is what I think they're going to do.
Yeah, so, that's really going to be the key. Like, are the Lions able to get that run game off and find some security in that? I think because they're going to slow the pace now to this game pretty significantly, you're not going to see a super high score or anything like that. But I do think the Lions win this one in one of those boring, like 2 possessions into it, you never really thought you were going to win kind of games. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Where it's just like, all right, we're going to lose. It's the second quarter. I wish they would just blow us out already. But now I got to sit here because we're only down 14. And then you get a field goal and you're like, oh, we're only down 11. And then they score like 2 touchdowns back to back. And you're like, okay, here it came. Yeah.
I might be a guy who bitches and moans a lot about the Steelers. I'm well aware I take for granted that I've never really had to deal with that. So for that, I'm grateful.
Yeah. What I just described is what you think watching the Steelers is
like. No, that's completely fair. Completely fair.
This is what it was like to watch the Browns with Eric Mangini, where it was oh my God, we can't get a first down. Now they're not going to be that bad though. The Bengals offense isn't going to be that bad. It's just going to be a question of like any points you put up, you feel like it's going to get answered. Any stops you get, you don't feel like you're going to capitalize on. Like, one missed field goal is really all it takes to start the shit show from draining down when you're in that kind of a position. And I don't think the Bengals are there right now to be able to prevent that. But hey, I don't think Detroit's going to be a team that if you give them a good effort, they're going to automatically beat you, But so I'll give Cincy a chance here, but unless they show something that they have not shown in the last, couple of weeks since Joe Burrow's been hurt. And then, I got the Lions pretty easily here.
Okay. Well, Q, I know you have to bounce. We'll see you Tuesday, man.
All right. CJ, I thought you was going to take your bye week, buddy.
No, like I said, I wanted to make sure I came in. Didn't want to, completely miss it. This is always a fun time, so I made sure to pop in. Hopefully, I shouldn't say hopefully. Maybe we'll see if we're talking about a Browns win. But if I bet it, then hopefully.
He doesn't say this shit about the Ravens. Oh, hopefully we get the Ravens to win.
The setting part, though, Sonny, like you want him to have absolutely nothing but contempt for you. That is the intention of the Baltimore Ravens organization.
I agree.
I might bet it. We'll see.
I agree. We talk about how Jared doesn't think how this is not disrespectful.
Team if your rival has sympathy for you.
I agree.
That has never been something that has happened to a success. You think anybody out here hoping sympathy for the Chiefs?
No. Or the Steelers. Many of us think, hopefully the Steelers win. The only time I have the Steelers, I'm hoping the Steelers win, is, I don't want them to be too bad because the draft pick. That's the only reason I'm here but I can't pick you. But that's the only reason.
Okay,
Every
whoever
time we
they
make
whoever they
the
draft at quarterback, it's not going to end up meaning anything anyway. I've already set myself up to be upset. Don't worry. I'm well
Number
ahead of it.
one thing about being a fan of one of these fan bases that gets condescended all the time is whenever we make the playoffs, we always get the loser vote, which is, oh man, I hope this team does something because they're such losers most of the time.
Yeah, I do recall I had a similar vibe about Cleveland. I
Mhm.
do recall.
It's
Yeah.
us, Justin Herbert, go have some fans in the playoffs just because of that.
I mean, it was like that for the Lions
Josh
when they
Allen's
first.
brilliance, it would probably be Buffalo too, right? Because they haven't won shit in a while too. But yeah, we always get that. Well, they're pathetic, so I'm gonna root for them
Right.
crowd, which is I can't wait till those days are over. Hopefully, I live to see them. Y'all have a great day.
Take it easy, Q. Okay, Ace, I'll drop it with you. What do you
Yeah.
think? I mean,
Pull
you
up
might be in
pull
the
up
same
graphic,
boat.
bro.
Oh,
Pull
my.
up the graphic.
Oh, I'm
Pull the
excited.
graphic up.
I didn't know
Pull the
the
graphic
BB
up. You know, yep.
I didn't know.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought
they
you
are
meant
gonna
the
do
other
that
one.
to the Bengals, bro. Like, let's just.
They're lying.
There's no analysis for this game. I mean, come on, man. The Detroit Lions, they're a good offense. They are going against this Bengals team. It's Zac Taylor and Jake Browning once again. So I'm supposed to believe that Jake Browning's just magically gonna drop 20 or 30 points. No, that's not happening. It's not happening in this game. I'm sorry, man. I don't have faith in Jake Browning and
No
Zac
faith.
Taylor at this point. I think the Bengals defense will try to hold up, but I just think after the offense doesn't give them anything, they're going to wear out just like they did last week, and they're going to crumble because the offense won't be able to do anything for them. Now, I do think Jamar Chase is going to try his best. I think T. Higgins is going to try his best, but at the end of the day, they cannot control how many targets they get. They cannot control the way that the ball is thrown to them. And to me, I think it's stupid that the Bengals didn't bring in and trade for another quarterback. So until they trade for another one, I might be doing BBDs or no BBBs
Damn.
because that sounded crazy. BBBs every week until they freaking get a quarterback. Like, you can't go into this.
What quarterback
thinking,
out there would you prefer?
I keep saying Jameis. Just give me
Jameis.
I'm
Jameis
so
is
down
out
bad,
there for
bro.
the taking.
I am so down bad. Russell Wilson is like Peyton Manning compared to Jake Browning right now.
So basically,
And
any
Russell
Giants backup.
Wilson look cooked. Yes, either one of them would be fine. Like, bro, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and be like, yeah, the Bengals have a chance. Like, they do not. Not with Jake Browning at quarterback. DJ Reader is gonna be out for a revenge game. I don't think that they can stop the two running backs for the Lions. I don't think that they have anybody to stop Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't think they have anyone that's really going to be able to do anything in this game. Like, this is a Zac Taylor special right here. A BBD, BBB, whatever you want to call it. I think the Bengals are cooked, bro. Like, I'm not gonna sit here now. If they do get an upset here, yeah, I'll come on here and eat crow. But I just don't think that they're gonna be
at least
in
you're
this game.
eating crow for a good
Bro, they
thing,
got
right?
killed. They let the Vikings put up 48 points on them. The Minnesota Vikings with Carson Wentz at quarterback. Like, they're cooked, bro. They're cooked right now. Like, in these circumstances, if they're not gonna make a change, by the time that they make a change, it's probably gonna be too late. But they should have traded for Jameis 2 weeks ago. I don't even know why we're still talking about them not. And then Zac
Is
Taylor's
there
going to come out
rumors
and
that
say that Jake Browning is our guy. That's your guy? The guy that wide receivers were running open and he couldn't even get the ball to him? And when he's not doing that, he's throwing interceptions? Come on, bro. Like, I can't sit here and say that this team has any kind of chance against Detroit in this game.
Is there rumors that they're looking to trade for QB or
the Bengals? So here's my thing with the Bengals. It's not that they don't do things that's annoying to me. It's that they wait and draw them out into the last possible minute. Like, even with the Dalton Risner thing, that should have been done at the beginning of the summer. They waited literally until a week before the season started to say, "Oh, we need another guard." Like, they're gonna wait until the last possible second and do it. And to me, by that point, why are you waiting to bring somebody in? It's clear what you need to do, and they just move slow. It's like the Jamar Chase thing. They waited, drug their feet, then they finally did it. With the Trey Hendrickson thing, they waited, drug their feet, finally did it. The T. Higgins thing, they waited. Like, it's just, come on, bro. You got to be more proactive than reactive, and they're very slow to react. So I just don't see them being able to last in this game. I mean, if the Lions come out and just go up 14-0, they're gonna give up. We've seen this team give up because they know that they don't have Joe Burrow. They know that they're not scoring on offense, and they don't trust Jake Browning. They don't trust him. Like, I don't think Jamar Chase or any of those guys actually believe in Jake Browning. They're not going to think that he
who's
can
the
bring
third
it back.
quarterback?
The third quarterback right now is, I think it's Brett Rapine or something
Brett
like that.
Rippin. Okay.
Brett Rippin, he sucks. Like, I would take my chances with Mike White before him.
Oh, Mike!
But,
I forgot that they signed Mike White. Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, I'd take my chances with Mike White instead of him. I think this could be the game. Now, if Browning goes out there, throws 2 or 3 picks, I do think you see the whoever it is, whether it's Mike White or Reppin, you're going to see that person in the game. Yeah, he's gonna have to. He was horrible last game. I just don't understand how you could come out after the last game, which ironically was one where he didn't throw any interceptions, right? But I don't know how you can come out after that game and say that he's our guy, and I have complete faith. Like, whatever, bro. Whatever. Like, no, I think the Bengals are gonna get kicked in this game. I'm surprised that it's only, what is it? What's the spread on this one? Because I just want to make sure I had the right spread. Is it 10.5 now? Okay, it should be. Yeah. I can't believe it started at 8.5. I'm like, it should have started at 10 plus as soon as they saw Jake Browning play on Monday Night Football. So, I mean, for me, yeah, I think it's pretty easy how this game is gonna go.
No faith.
No.
Either way, Ace, in the past couple of weeks, I feel like me and you need like a therapy session with our teams. Like,
well, I mean, the hardest part about the Bengals is they're like 2-2 right now. That's the most frustrating part. Like, if they were 1-5,
the year that you start 2-0, Ace,
if they were 1 and whatever, then I'd be like, all right. But like, it's like, all right, guys, Burrow goes down. You know that you have to get someone in here, and it's like, oh no, let's just twiddle our thumbs while we're still the 6th seed. Let's just keep throwing Jake Browning out there and think that isn't like, nah, bro. Like, and Jamar Chase did kind of hint this week. That was kind of the biggest news. Jamar Chase did kind of hint that Joe Burrow is trying to come back, but it's not gonna matter if you keep throwing Jake Browning out there and losing games. Like, he's not gonna come back when it's mathematically over for him.
Yeah.
So it's just frustrating because I just don't know how you're not looking to try to trade for somebody. Like, even the Browns are sitting there like, okay, our season might be cooked, but hey, we lost two of our starting tackles. Let's go trade for Cam Robinson. The Bengals aren't even doing that, and they have a better record. It just doesn't make sense, bro.
Yeah, if Ace hadn't put up the big booty beatdown graphic, I was gonna call for it because, I was, Q obviously left, but I mean, I think the Lions have been pretty good this year. And when you look at
they've been really good.
When you look at what they've done well compared to what the Bengals defense doesn't do well, the Bengals defense has the 9th worst EPA against the run. They have the 2nd worst run stuff percentage in the league. So this could be a big, like, I don't think they're going to put a lot of pressure on Goff to like go out and make throws. He might throw the ball like 18 times this game. They'll just keep feeding Montgomery and Gibbs and just run it down their throats.
That's the thing, Gibbs.
So I think it's going to be a big Jahmyr Gibbs game, big David Montgomery game, somewhat similar to what we saw against Baltimore, where both of them just kind of have their way with the opposing defense. And they don't ask Goff to do a whole lot or put him at risk to do anything, because if you don't have to throw the ball to win by a bunch, then, why do it? But, we're going to see Amon-Ra St. Brown get his. He has to have like 6 touchdowns already, because he had a 3-touchdown game. I believe he had a 2-touchdown game as well. Like, he's scoring at will.
Yeah.
He's like that.
Probably working a little bit of Jameson Williams as well. Laporta, like, they've got so many talented guys on that side of the ball. And Cincinnati,
and they just dropped 50 on somebody. Like, they just dropped 50.
Yeah. So like, this is like, that's not who the Bengals need to see right now, especially with their lack of talent defensively. I think I don't know if this would happen or anything. I don't think the Bengals are going to stage a mutiny against Zac Taylor. But
that's what Ace wants to happen.
I mean, I don't blame him.
Bro, if he gets blown out, I'm sorry. If he gets blown out in this Lions game, in the Packers game, you have to consider getting rid of him. He can't continue to get blown out. Yes, bro. Because like, you have to see who, you have to send some kind of message, bro. Because a lot of it is more deep than just the Bengals struggling. Like, his scheme itself just does not work whatsoever. Like, it doesn't work. It's gotten Joe Burrow hurt. You know, they're not able to run the ball at all. The offensive line is the hardest scheme to block for in the NFL. Like, I'm not trying to take away or not criticize the linemen, but when you have guys like Andrew Whitworth, Jason Kelsey, like people that are Hall of Fame caliber linemen saying, hey, this is the hardest system to block, and you don't have like elite caliber linemen, like what are you expecting?
Yeah, and anytime like you have star players like clearly frustrated, like I wouldn't be surprised if like Jamar Chase, let's say they do go down like 14-0 early. Like I wouldn't blame those guys if they checked out because they've seen this movie, you know, 3 times already this, or you know, a couple times already this season. And they're all right. Well, we know how this is going to turn out. Defense can't stop anybody. We can't move the ball on anybody. This is, you know, probably the end here. So, you know, I feel bad. Like I said earlier this week, you know, I feel bad for Bengals fans, and I feel bad for, you know, just in general because, you know, they started off 2-0. Burrow, you know, as long as he's healthy, the team has a shot. It's just, it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. So
what happens if the message is let's fire whoever the DC is?
Al Golden. I mean, he's only been there for what, 4 games?
I know.
I mean, yeah, he's this guy.
Maybe that's what Zach does. Let me just fire.
That's what he tried to do with Anarumo.
Yeah, he
That's
doesn't
what
have
they
a
did.
scapegoat anymore. He did it with the offensive line coach. He did it with 2 offensive line coaches. He did it with a defensive coordinator. Like, bro, it's you. You're the issue. Like, you got to go. And I think that they get blown out. You know, this would be
the 3rd straight game.
3 games in a row, 4 games in a row. Yeah, he's gone, bro. There's no way that they can keep him through this team just getting blown out the whole season.
Yeah, it's pain. And again,
it's
I know
necessary. It's necessary.
It is necessary. It is necessary. And I just wonder if Mike Brown would do it. That's my biggest thing. Is like I just don't know if he would. And
he might do it late. So like I said, they respond late. So he'll
do it like week 12,
like week 15 or something. Like, oh yeah, now I'm gonna fire Zac Taylor.
Yeah,
the week before the season's over, like, we're not making the playoffs. Let me just fire him.
Yeah, I know it's weird coming from me. You know, obviously the Bengals playing in the AFC North, but like, you know, love Joe. Love when, you know, the league's better when he's good. League's better when Cincinnati's, you know, a fun team to watch. And yeah, it's a little bit of a pain. Wish that they would be a little bit more proactive in this stuff. You know, I've said it a billion times on here, so I don't want to sound like a broken record, but you know what I would do at head coach, and you know how I would try to go about fixing things. Yeah, I think
that's why you have to be proactive on doing it, because once teams are going to start looking at Joe Brady, like
next
once
year
they get to a certain, they're going to look at him in this season. They're going to start trying to interview him, like during like when the Bills are getting ready for the playoffs. Somebody's going to be like, "Yeah,
I agree.
We're looking at him."
That
was our issue. That was another thing. We waited so late with the Zac Taylor thing. We waited all the way until we got to the Super Bowl and this and that. And then, yeah, it's just a disaster. So you got to make sure you got the right guy. But if they can get that done early, they need to look at Joe Brady as soon as possible.
Yeah, and we'll see, you know, if that does come to fruition. But until then, like, I just don't know. I can't fathom like going in week after week, just, you know, still having some sort of belief in Zac Taylor, just because like we've seen this before. We saw it last year when Joe, or the year before, sorry, when Joe went down. Yeah, but Jake Browning too, dude. Like this weird Derek Carr variant known as Jake Browning. That's what he reminded me of. Like they showed a picture of him on the bench. And like he's just like his mouth hanging open. He looked a lot like Derek Carr. But yeah, he's like if Derek Carr was like somehow like the Aldi version of Derek Carr, which isn't, you know, Derek Carr's already
Aldi versions. Why are you slandering Aldi here?
I like Aldi. It's just, you know, the bargain, good bargains at Aldi. That's my point. So yeah,
but Joe Burrow, not Joe Burrow. Sorry, Jake Browning ain't no good bargain right now.
He's quite bad.
He used to be.
It's also very funny. Like they show him throw 3 picks, and then the camera cuts to his smoking hot girlfriend / wife. And I'm like, actually, fuck this guy. He gets to play like ass and still go home to that. And you know what? I hope he throws 8 more interceptions. Yeah. So actually, this guy sucks.
Coach O.
I'm just over him.
Coach O.
Yeah, I did see that. I don't know how viable that is, but it would be entertaining.
I mean, Coach O is entertaining the sideline. I don't think he's a good coach.
I mean, he won a national championship.
I mean, that team was stacked.
Yeah,
Hey.
Coach O's he won a national championship. You gotta give him that.
Yeah. I mean, who got all those players there?
Coach O.
Coach O.
Yeah, but that's different.
O.
Recruiting, you need.
I mean, look,
Bengals
man,
need
if
a
you
bonus.
wanted to try to get some high profile free agents and that whole what's the Disney character they compare him to, or I can't remember.
From
who
Up, he looks somebody that should be in Up.
If you bring that walking bowl of gumbo into a free agent meeting and he's just making you laugh for a while, you're like, all right, yeah, what the hell? I'll come play with Joe Burrow and Coach O. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as I said earlier, it's depressing right now in the AFC North. How these two
I would not be depressed if they fire Zac Taylor. I'll tell you.
Well,
that.
no, that's I know that would be the early gift for Ace.
Oh yeah.
We're a month into the season and two.
I don't think it will happen though.
Two fan bases are already. I don't know. Is Baltimore like on the fire Harbaugh train?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They've been fire Harbaugh even when we win.
Need to get on the fire Zach Orr train too.
Yeah. Zach Orr has been fire. Fan base been wanting to fire Zach Orr for years from last year. Remember last year we started badly on defense as well.
Yeah.
So people were like fire Zach because remember we went from being really good at defense with McDonald to being horrendous, and personnel barely changed. So
who would have thought that Jadeveon Clowney going to Carolina would make so much of a difference? John Harbaugh says to himself as he looks for excuses. Zach Orr is good.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Anyway, we'll be back recapping all these games on Tuesday. I'm pretty sure I know how this week is gonna go. We might only have one winner this week, and it's the team that doesn't play. So
yeah, that's the thing. I'm not depressed at all. No, I might come on here and be pissed off about certain things that happen, and say that Tomlin pisses me off every week because he does. But
is for you, Jared. It's coming round one of the playoffs, and then when they come back, and Tomlin's like, "I'm coming back again to do the same thing next year."
If they host a playoff game and get their asses kicked in, then yes, I will be.
I
will be standing in front of the South Side with a picket sign.
I want to know, Jared.
Tomlin's coming back. Tomlin's coming back for another year. That's when Jared's gonna lose his shit.
Yeah,
Jared, this is highly improbable, but I will need you. It's not even a bet. This is more almost out there. What would you do if somehow Baltimore, Cleveland, or the Bengals win this division?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Highly improbable. But that's what I'm saying. What would you do?
No.
I'm certainly not going to rule out Baltimore just because I heard Q say it. Like, I'm not going to count that out till the body's cold.
Yeah, but you guys will have a big path.
They did last year too, Sonny.
But last year I predicted that you guys were going to collapse.
But right now we're reading a novel of Baltimore injuries. So I don't think that. I mean, you can't predict injuries, but it's not a good start, bro.
Yeah,
not a good.
But that's my point. I agree. That's exactly my point.
They're gonna be hurt all season, and I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna be the same.
But that's what I'm pointing to, Jared. What would you do if somehow Baltimore? Let's say Baltimore pulls it somehow. Because how Baltimore can do this is if they sweep the Steelers. If they don't sweep the Steelers, I don't see there's a way.
You guys aren't sweeping the Steelers.
No,
you guys never sweep the Steelers.
Ace, I'm not predicting this.
He's very much speaking in hypothetical right now.
This is all this is my point to Jared. What would you do? Because it would have to be a perfect storm almost.
Well, first
this is like the meme where the dude is like,
yeah. I just want to know how the rage will be for Jared.
First, I would delete every television app on my PlayStation because then I'd have to listen to Ryan Clark and Mina Kimes talk about how great Lamar is for the next year and a half. And I was like, all right, yeah, great, awesome. So I would avoid that forever just because I already get tired of that verbal.
I never listen to ESPN anymore, so.
I mean, I don't either, but you see it on Twitter and whatnot.
I thought you were going to say, Sonny, I'm just going to shave my head.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah, it would. You guys know how I get. If that happened, you know what I'd say. But that's about
that would be fire Tomlin offense.
They should. I think they should have moved on from him after the loss against Baltimore because
last year.
Yes,
in the playoff.
Yes, after the playoff loss. You guys remember I came on here and said that they were going to win.
Yeah,
and I
still remember that.
I was very wrong, and If they somehow squander this, let's say they start 4-2 or 5-1, and Baltimore's 1-5, 2-3, whatever it is, their schedule's pretty good outside of a game against Buffalo and a game against Detroit. Like they got a lot of winnable games that they should be able to win 11 games.
Yeah.
And if they somehow screw that up and Baltimore just goes on a tear, beats them twice and wins the division, there's zero reason that Tomlin should be back. Zero. But he will, because he has a contract extension through 2027 and the Rooneys are going to pay a guy to not be there. So he'll be there. They could lose every game for the rest of this year. He'll still be there. So it's it's what it is. I understand that's what it is. Doesn't mean I gotta like it. But they're right now in a good spot and have everything. If they control their destiny, if they can take care of their business, they'll host a playoff game.
They have a cushion that they can even drop a stupid game.
And they're gonna. I'm telling you right now, they're going to lose to Cincinnati on Thursday night. They're just gonna.
I don't know about that, brother.
It's a Hayes is saying there's no way in hell.
Well, it's happened before because the Ryan Finley, and I remember on that game, I did a live stream and I was like, the Bengals are gonna get killed that game, and I think it was to the point where I was pulling out vintage basketball cards and like my PS1 game, and then the Ryan Finley game happened. So I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but bro, this year's a little different.
The Steelers are horrible on Thursday nights. They lost last year to Jameis in Cleveland. They lost the year prior to that to Bailey Zappi at home against the Patriots.
Damn, that's crazy.
The year before that, they did win, but they barely squeaked out a win against Will Levis and the Titans. And then the year before that, they lost to Minnesota on the road. Like, they're not good on Thursday nights. I'm going into that. That's not me being like a hater or pessimistic or anything. That's just me recognizing the trends with this team and saying, if there's a dumb game that they're going to lose, it'll be the Thursday night game. So I think they beat Cleveland. They'll get to 4-1. I think they'll lose to Cincinnati and lose to Green Bay, get them at 4-3, and then they'll go on a tear where they'll beat Indy, they'll beat Chicago, they'll beat the Chargers, and they'll get to 7-3, 8-3, similar to what they were last year. I just think that Rodgers is an upgraded quarterback. They got upgrades all over the field. That should be good enough for at least one more game. A matter of fact, I went through the rest of the schedule on Behind the Steel Curtain and predicted every game. I had them winning 12, which I know sounds crazy coming from me, but you know what? I'm going to allow myself to believe it. 12 games.
I mean, you're the most pessimistic of all of us, probably.
That's what I like. I don't say, I try not to say pessimistic. I just try to say realistic. You gotta keep yourself down to earth. But I do think 12 games is in the realm of possibility. They can be the 3 seed. And if they're the 3 seed, I don't know who they would play.
Baltimore. Can you imagine? You play. What happens if you win the division? Baltimore sneaks in, you play us, and we beat you.
I'll be sad. I'll be very sad. I would be very upset. If
all I have is poking you at this point.
If they win the division, host Baltimore and win, I will be the most insufferable prick for a while.
That's fine.
that would be the greatest thing ever for me.
Got it. Okay, so we'll be back next week recapping all this game. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, put the comments who you got. Also, thank you for the people, Patreon, and the people that have joined the channel. YouTube has lowered their rates for us and for everybody, to be honest. So we appreciate you helping us in this endeavor. So we thank you. We appreciate you. Stay safe the weekend. Have a lovely weekend, and peace out. So